enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American.
Welcome to another powerful episode of the Patriots Prayer Podcast. Today we have thrilling news that will resonate with every true American patriot. We are beyond excited to announce that the Patriots Prayer Podcast has just been made an official member of the Native American Guardians Association, known as NAGA. This is a monumental honor, Patriots. We are incredibly grateful for the trust that NAGA has placed in us. But that's not all. Our mission has expanded in a way that will shake the very foundations of cancel culture. As the podcast arm of what is known as the 7 Generation Alliance, we are now part of a formidable coalition that includes not just the Native Americans, but also the Jewish community, the Italian community, the Asian community, and many more. We're united and we're fed up. We're fed up with being sidelined. Together, we can stand against the mainstream media, which seems to focus on the small percentages of people while ignoring the majority. Our voices united will be so loud that they can no longer be ignored. We will ensure that our representation, our imagery, and our names stay exactly where they belong. And for those that have already been taken, we demand restoration, and we will shout this demand with one loud, united voice. This is not just an announcement. This is a call to action to our loyal patriots. Join us in welcoming the Native American Guardians Association and all the community standing with us. Your unwavering support has brought us to this pivotal moment. And together, we will be unstoppable. Stand with us, support us, and help us cancel culture. And together, we cannot be stopped. So thank you for tuning in to the Patriots Prayer Podcast. And let's get this show on the road as the voice of now what is known as the 7 Generation Alliance. Welcome to the Patriots Prayer. So,
good news. How about that?
I don't think people realize how good a news it is or what it actually means. So, break it down for them, Maurice, a little bit, so people understand what the hell just happened.
So, we've been in communication with NAGA, Native Americans Guardians Association, for quite some time. They helped tremendously get Holden Armenta to the Super Bowl. They believe in a lot of the same values that I've been promoting since the beginning, and that you've been promoting on back when we were separated. And I think that this alliance almost seemed inevitable, or at least that's how it felt. And lately we've been in communications and decided to, I guess, kind of merge our messaging. And not only that, we are going to be in contact with all of the people who feel underrepresented or have been, I guess, facing this kind of cancel culture, because it is something that almost every community has been experiencing over the past decade, at least. I would say since about 2012 is when it became popular, but yeah, it has been pervasive and very difficult to stand against, especially when you're alone. If you feel alone and you are the target of cancel culture, it takes a special kind of soul in order to be able to withstand the attacks that come your way, whether it be name calling or people calling for your job. It is difficult to stand up against those kinds of accusations. And it feels like we're reaching a point where like-minded patriots, what I've been promoting with the Tribe of Patriots and what NAGA has been promoting with the 7 Generations Alliance, where there's enough people coming together and it's not necessarily a support group, but it is a group of like-minded patriots that can help ensure or reassure you that you are not on the wrong side of history, that your opinion of whatever kind of attack that is being launched at you is valid, and you can stand against it, and there are patriots behind you. So that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is being able to help become a voice for that kind of culture, and to stand up for Native American representation, and Jewish representation, or the Italian representation, Asian representation. I mean, there's so many groups involved in this that I mean, I'm just really excited to be a part of it and be able to spread the message further and show cancel culture that there are patriots that are standing up against this kind of this Marxist communist cancel culture, this wokeness that has infected the minds of so many in this country. It has become a popular thing to be woke and to jump on the next bandwagon of the next popular thing, and who can we cancel. It almost gives them a sense of power by jumping in and believing that taking down the next thing is their mission, it's their life goal. It gives them a kind of purpose. And now, as patriots, we are forming groups that have a purpose to counter that, because our missions stand in truth. They stand in honor, and we have a mission to honor tradition and to represent Native Americans, or just Americans in general, in a positive light. And I believe that we can do that.
Exactly. So from the logistics point of view, what it means is we've always had, for the longest time now, the support of NAGA. They've always been in our corner.
Yeah.
Now being actual members of NAGA is a member of this thing called the 7 Generation Alliance. So imagine a NAGA that's Italian. Imagine one that's Asian. Some of the groups have upwards of 6,000-7,000 people in them apiece. So what we've done was we got all of those groups, or all those different cultural representations, and put them under one roof. We're talking a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people who are extremely pissed off. And so we had a conference call the other day, a Zoom call, and Maurice represented on that Zoom call. And what came out of that was they called me up a couple of days later and said, listen, guys, we want to make you a full-blown member of NAGA. What do you feel about that? Of course. Absolutely. We have to support each other. And what was funny was, because it was almost prophetic, I just had that conversation with Maurice 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was weird because I just hung the phone up with him, and my next phone call was them saying what I thought should happen on the last phone call that I had with Maurice. It was wild. So they tell us, what their vision is and what they want. And so, I mean, just imagine this. So when they have the Italian portion of this group has a press release, something that they want out there, it's going to be through the Patriots Prayer podcast. It's going to be through Alexandra 360, who's part of the Patriot Prayer family. And we have one more that we're thinking about bringing on board as well, some service members. So we're growing the Patriots Prayer podcast as well. So we're trying to make it to where you have a Patriots Prayer podcast every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then the eventuality is going to be an early and a late one on each day. So we're growing, and that's the vision. But what NAGA has done, and what the 7 Generation Alliance has done, is puts us in contact with each of these groups. And when they have press releases they want out, when they have stories they want told, and each of them have their own political affiliations and connections to people that you're going to see us talking to. We're going to be doing an event with NAGA and the 7 Generation Alliance, and we're all going to be in the same place at the same time with a studio set up where we're going to have the heads of these organizations, and we're going to be emceeing a podcast. And imagine trying to get the attention of your political elected official, and you're talking about the Native Americans, which is 1% of the population of the United States. It's very hard, right? We saw that with Robert Kennedy. He really didn't give a damn when it really pushed it. It's like, this doesn't matter to me right now. Why? Because he's talking about 1% of the population. And then he went on to say that he had the support of natives when he wouldn't even support the 9-year-old kid, right? So,
on that point, a lot of natives lean heavily left. A lot of the, like what you've seen on Twitter and social media, the ones being represented were leaning hard left. So people like Lakota Man and well, I mean, I guess that's the biggest one that I can think of on X at this moment. But it appears that there's so many Native Americans that have kind of fallen into the trap and believing that the Democrats have been helping them out. And I mean, we try to push a message a little bit past just Democrat and Republican. You know, I mean, as of right now, there's a lot more Republicans that I agree with than there are Democrats. So I believe that you should still be a free thinking patriot, that you as a individual citizen should not subscribe to either party, because that is going to just put some shackles on your independent thought. And it does make you a little bit more tribal in your responses to the other side, right? And it helps kind of play that game. So what you should do as a just a regular everyday citizen is to believe that you are a free thinking patriot. If you love this country, then you're a patriot. So you know, that's one thing that one of the big messages that we push is believing that there's more to the political sphere and our cultural sphere than D or R next to your name. So
absolutely. And that was for so you know, that was Tony right there, and he's trying to jump on the podcast right now, and he was having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I was trying to coach him through it. So Tony is the new president of the Native American Guardians Association, and oh, there he is. Let's bring him up. He just popped on. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear. Yeah.
So go ahead, Tony. We're going to let you take the stage, take the mic, and tell everybody what's cooking, brother. Tell them what we got going on.
We got a lot going on. First of the year, I set out kind of like 10 priorities that we wanted to do. A lot of it was centered around getting Native American education curriculum going in Native themed schools. But a lot of it is you know, defending the Native American imagery that's currently in schools against these you know, attacks. We're going to be talking to an attorney tomorrow about suing the NAACP or the NCAA about their discriminatory policy, and it's going to have legal effects for all of these states that are passing these unconstitutional laws that violate the 14th Amendment constitutional rights of Native Americans. You cannot discriminate based upon race, age, blah, blah, blah. And they are discriminating against Native Americans. You can be called, you can have a high school named Martin Luther King, blah, 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 but you cannot have a school named Sitting Bull. That is unconstitutional. That is wrong. So in the same way that the Slants case from 2014 created the precedent for the Washington Redskins trademark logo lawsuit to be dropped, we think that this is going to have national implications. So this alliance is one of the 10 things that we wanted to accomplish, and we're doing it. You know, so basically what we've said is, let's figure out who are the best people to take on a certain area and run with it. And as far as like the social media podcasts, you know, you guys were natural, so we're naturally aligned, and so we're going to we're going to absolutely work together, you know, in sequence. It's like, what benefits the Patriots prayer benefits NAGA. What benefits NAGA benefits the Patriots prayer. It benefits America. It benefits Native America. So that's kind of where we're at.
And just want to say, you know, a resounding Thank you, because as a result of this, our voice is going to grow exponentially. I was explaining a little bit of the logistics of what the 7-Generation Alliance was. So imagine, I mean, the Native American Guardians Association, a similar grouping with the Asian community, with the Italian community, with the Jewish community. So amplify that by 4 or even more as it continues to grow. And together, they cannot silence us. You're no longer going to be able to be ignored. You're going to be that kind of loud. Maurice and I are going to be going on the 14th of June down to Detroit, Michigan, and we will be backstage where Donald Trump will be. And we're going to try our damnedest to get this information in front of him, to have a conversation, at least to start the conversation, to have him know what this is and what we're fighting for, because inadvertently he says the same things and he's fighting for the same things. If we can connect the dots.
Right. Yeah. The Marxist left, I mean, I'll hand it to them. They have done a great job of organizing their minority forces, the NAACP, blah, 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 against us. And our side is kind of like just been in the position of keyboard warriors, is like, doggone it, this sucks. Well, just typing something on, social media saying that this sucks doesn't cut it. We got to get organized. We got to get as organized, if not more organized, than the political left. We are the 95% majority, and we're getting our lunch stolen, our lunch money stolen from us by Pee Wee Herman. I mean, right. Come
on. That's a pretty good way to put it, because
good analogy.
I mean, I know that you've seen a lot of the things that I promote on X, and basically saying that the silent majority has been silent for too long, and it exactly like you say, it is time to get organized and put boots on the ground and figure out ways to stop this march forward, and then bring back our representation. Because in Washington State, I think it was 2 years ago, they passed a law saying that it's exactly what you said, in how there's nobody is allowed to have Native American iconography in their high schools or middle schools or anything like that. My middle school used to be the Warriors, and it was a Native American with a headdress, which was an honor. But now they're not allowed to, because they're not directly affiliated with the tribe, which seems insane to me. If you're allowed to represent other cultures and other, like, I mean, it's the same thing with the NFL, how they still have the Vikings, I mean, but you can't have the Redskins. It seems insane to me that we've let it go on this far, but I'm glad that we are organizing, and we are becoming a force to be reckoned with.
And the organization is so needed, because at the heart of a lot of these changes are very nefarious people. They're it's either from sources of Islam, or it's sources from communism, from China. In the instance of the Redmen out in Utah, it's coming from a place where people are connected to what's known as the Helen Foster Foundation. And the Helen Foster Foundation, upon further inspection, is nothing more than the Confucius Institute with a new name. And you go back and you look at it, the damn webpage looks similar. It's all in Chinese writing. All of these people who work for SUU are all, there are many of them that are, related to this foundation, who supports the college. And then you catch them and their MP3s off the cuff, and they're telling you, hey, put people on the board and get people aligned with us, so that we make sure that when we ask, do we want to remove the Redmen, or do we want to, put the name back or thing like that, that we get people that are more on our side. Like they got caught. Their audio tape was not leaked because they did it openly, and they got caught rigging the game. They were like, get people on this board that are sympathetic to the things that we want done. And plain English, I actually have it somewhere here. I have
it's no longer a representative form of government that they're showing us. It is, they have a mission statement, and they're going to find ideological members of their group that they can use to get whatever goal that they want done. And part of that goal is to erase American history, which encompasses Native American history. It's obviously Native American history is a vital part of American history. And if you erase the Native Americans and you erase the foundations of this country, then they can enact their communistic utopia that they believe that they can usher in this new era of America that they want to enact. So it is absolutely disgraceful in how we've let it get this far. But I believe that we can take it back.
It starts with destroying the pride. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony.
I reject the premise that these very fringe radical hate America groups are now the gatekeepers. They get to decide what your Native American traditions are or are not. I reject that. I think the vast majority of Native America rejects that. I know that the vast majority of America rejects that. So the difference is we have to speak with one unified voice. I'll give it to the left. They have organized very well to make themselves seem like they are the majority voice. They are not. Proven over and over again, they are in a very fringe radical minority, and they are only assigned the power that they are given. And we need to go to these leaders of these teams, the political parties, that whatever, the ruling classes, and say enough is enough. We're putting, it's like Steve Daines, the senator from Montana, said, I am putting a line in the sand as far as representing the Native American heritage that was the Washington Redskins. If you want this stadium, you're going to acquiesce to Native America. And that's where we need to be. We need to be there as Native Americans, as patriotic Americans, as the overwhelming voice of America, which is a 95% majority. We will not be ruled by the 5% anymore. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's infuriating? It's the notion that removing the Native American imagery is somehow respectful. It's not respect to blatantly discriminate. It stripping away these symbols and erases rich culture heritage and silence the voices of those who fought to keep their traditions alive. It's a slap in the face to the very people it's claiming to honor. It's not progress. It's cultural erasure disguised as political correctness. It's time to stand up and call this out for exactly what it is. It's a misguided attempt to erase history, and enough is enough.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, come on, think about it. Most of these high school teams, college teams, professional teams have had these traditions, these Native American icons for centuries. And just now, all of a sudden, it's bad. Who believes that?
No.
So the left
it's a creation. It was something that was manufactured, that is provably false, and that we are supposed to just sit back and say, well, this 5% minority fringe, they get to rule it, and it doesn't matter whether or not what they're saying is true or not. Just, we're in an era of cancel culture, and that's the way it is. Well, I'm not going to say what Trump would say. I would say the actual BS word, but I'm not going to say that. But it's BS. And I think I've had it. I think Native America has had it. I think the country has had it. We're sick and tired of cancel culture. And it is time. And we're starting to see the pendulum swing back when you start seeing schools like Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. The school board gets rid of their Native American name and imagery, and then boom, one cycle back, and then
Tony,
they're back in the game.
I don't know if you know that.
Continue.
That was my grandmother's tribe, the Susquehanna Indian. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know. Like, it started in Kentucky, went to Maryland, then back to Pennsylvania, and pretty much the entire tribe was damn near wiped out, like, from existence. And I mean, what a struggle to go through to almost be wiped off the face of the earth completely as a tribe, and then have these Marxists show up to try to do it the rest of the way. But it's respectful. It's done out of respect. It's
to them, words are just tools to achieve their goals. They don't have any they don't believe that there's an ultimate truth out there. So they use words as tools to achieve their goals, and that's all they see it as. So when they label people like us racist, or they label people like they say that you're insulting a culture, all they're doing is just using words to appeal to your emotion, because that's what the left has done very well. And that's a lot of the mindset that the Native Americans are, that lean left. They've fallen into that mindset of victimhood and appealing to their emotions, and it feels almost like you are owed something because, I mean, because of there were atrocities done in the past, yes, but you were born into this world the same as I were, the same as
To
my
every
wife,
race, though.
the same as my yes, the same
To
as
every
my
race.
mother has been in America, and you enjoy the benefits of the protections that America provides, the modern technology, the modern medicine, all of this stuff, it is being provided, and it's time that people really start to understand that there's more to there's more to America than all of the bad that the left has been shoving in our faces, and indoctrinating people to believe that America
Yeah.
is the worst country on earth, and it's so racist and this and that, and it's built on genocide and slavery. And it's like, well, human history is built in a lot of ways on slavery and war and conquest. That's virtually all of human history. So when you just specifically take out the one country that recognizes rights under God's, and recognizes rights for the smallest minority, okay, it's not just Native Americans, that the 1%, right? The smallest minority is the individual, and the Constitution says that our rights come from God and are recognized by government, and each individual person has those rights because we exist. So the one country in the entire world and in the entire history of mankind that recognizes that, there's more good than there is bad in our history. And we've come a long way, and it seems like there's a lot of people wanting to bring us back 50, 60, 100 years, as far as how the races are treated, and how we treat each other and see each other as Americans. So it's
Well,
just one of
that's
those things
it.
that the left has been really, really good at.
The left was racist then, it's racist now. It's just the Confederacy 2.0 is all. I mean, I don't even have to have known or have proof of it, but somewhere there is a small group of people on the left within government, deep state, whatever, that are pulling the strings from the top, that are making people do these ridiculous things and say these ridiculous things, that are sitting back laughing at them while they're enacting their plan. These people that are marching down streets calling for the genocide of an entire race of people in the case of the Jews, or it makes no sense where these were the same people marching with BLM, right? Because they don't like racism. Real, I mean, and it doesn't stop there. Then you have Queers for Palestine. Okay, your life, your choice. Be who you want to be. But are you really going to tell me that you're going to support the same people who would tie you to a chair and kick you off a building? Are you really telling me this is who you support? Or for the women that are out there saying that they care about the little children in Palestine? Well, where are you when they're being married off to 50, 60-year-old men at 13? And women don't have the right to choose or speak or anything else. It's ridiculous. And they're advocating for things that are completely against the value system they espouse here in America and what they're fighting for. It's really hypocritical.
Well, again,
Yeah.
that's the thing that they don't understand. They're just repeating these words because that's what they're told to do, or they emotionally feel like that's the best route to take for social currency, if you will. To become popular in these schools, you have to lean left. You have to be an activist of some kind, and I'm saving the planet and fighting for human rights. When in reality they're doing the exact opposite, and they're chanting these slogans that are created by the higher ups. Back in 2020, when all the BLM riots were happening, all of the giant corporations were on board, and so the radical activists and some even domestic terrorists were on board saying the same exact things as all of these giant corporations virtue signaling to that Black Lives Matter, right? And I mean, it's the same group of people. It's just different words, but they're doing the same exact thing, and it's just they're following their marching orders so that way they can get social currency and become popular, and whatever they do. That's why independent people like me and you, we don't have that kind of pressure in any way, shape, or form, because we have a family to raise. We have obligations. We have a duty to protect our country because we have skin in the game. We have kids. We have wives. We have a future to look ahead to, and we see that there's we need to be careful with our actions and how we move forward, rather than just calling for whatever the next thing is, right?
Yep. Right and wrong have to mean more than right and left, guys. And they play a lot of games to make you think that what they're doing is right. I mean, they play word games, and the way that they present the things that they present to you, they do it in such a way is because they realize that those people on the left will never dig for the truth. It's whatever you tell them, that's the truth to them. They won't look any further. They won't do any research. They won't do anything. Half of them are yelling from the river to the sea, and they don't know what river or what sea or what Antifada means or anything about Palestine whatsoever. It's popular. It's the only reason they're doing it. It's popular. And then the students are doing it in some of these cases in these universities, because the universities have gone about hiring these Marxist professors. Hell, we had Arthur Long on here, the group of kids that protected the flag at Chicago U, where William Ayers is a professor. And we asked them point blank, are the kids worried about the professors and the staff and faculty, doing any reprisals against them as far as when it comes to their grades and that sort of thing? Because they are very big Marxists, right? William Ayers is the leader of the Weatherman Underground. He bombed the Pentagon, killed 2 police officers. He was the guy who wrote the book for Obama called Dreams from My Father. Hell, he met with Obama 7 hours before that anti-Israeli thing even kicked off in Chicago. He was there. Obama was there. Maybe Obama was the one that whispered in his ear, hey, go ahead and do it. But it's real eerie that he was there. But the point I was getting to is that what Arthur said was, yes, they are afraid. They're afraid that the teachers will fail them for not being pro-Palestinian, for taking a stand against these people who wanted to pull the American flag down. We've lost our leadership in these institutions. And the leadership that we have there, if it's not just there because you happen to be black, or you happen to be a woman, or you happen to be gay. So the DEI thing is lowered the bar tremendously. Just look at the lady that was in Harvard, right? Harvard is one of the most prestigious universities ever. She literally took someone else's complete life story, all their works. She got caught like 120 times plagiarizing. 120. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what did she ever do? If you plagiarize 120 times, what did you ever do yourself? I mean,
the bigotry. It's the bigotry of low expectations that they're starting to lower the bar for all minorities, so that way they can be accepted into the proper society that all these white saviors are believing in, and a lot of people just bite it hook, line, sinker. I mean, they just go for it because they see that as an easier path to success, which is unfortunate.
I'm gonna play a word from our sponsors real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
Born in the coastal plains of South Texas, Smoking Gun Coffee is founded by combat veterans that know exactly what a cup of coffee needs to taste like. Run by father and son, each coffee bean is perfected, roasted at 500 degrees, and cooled with a Gulf Coast breeze. Smoking Gun Coffee hand makes and bags each ounce of coffee for maximum customer satisfaction. With every purchase, 10% goes back to organizations that help veterans and local communities. That's Texas made, one bag at a time. To find out more, go to www.smokingguncoffee.com.
There it is. So you can also go to the patriotsprayer.com and the Smoking Gun Coffee link is there as well. Use code Native Patriot to get 10% off. All of our sponsors. Go ahead. So yeah, all of our sponsors are there, every one of them. So I just updated our website as well, Tony. Everything about the 7 Generation Alliance there, NAGA is there. The links are there for guys. Get involved, right? We say it all the time. Do not be like the people who bitch about how they want the country to be the day after the election and you didn't vote, or you don't know who your city council members are, or any of that. Find out who these people are. Trust me, if you put pressure on them to do the things that you want done, they will do it. But the reason why they get away with so much is because they know you're not paying attention. You have to pay attention. You're paying attention and you call them out on the things that they didn't do that they said they would do. They will do them. They will do an about face very quickly. Now, Tony, we have a guy in Montana you were telling me about is trying to help us get the Redskins back. Tell us about that.
You got Senator Steve Daines, a Republican senator from Montana. He's been in contact with the Wetzel family. Blackie Wetzel was the chairman of the Blackfeet Nation in the late 1960s. He was also the president of the National Congress of American Indians, which has gone way off the reservation to the left. And he even called him out on that, and said that this organization has gone way left. But he presented, at one time, the Washington Redskins just had an R with a couple feathers sticking off of it. And he said, there needs to be an actual symbol of a Native American. And so he put together the drawing that is Chief Two Guns White Calf. It's not a mascot. It's an actual chief of the Blackfeet Nation. And we're in contact with a couple of the descendants of Chief White Calf. They all want that imagery back. They want the Redskins back, the Blackfeet Nation. And the interesting thing is the political left, they've given what they have said they're okay with. If you're going to have a Native theme and you're going to be a sports team, if you have the approval of a Native American tribe, you're good. And that happens at every level. You take a look at the high school level, these blue states, every single one of these states, like Washington, Oregon, Colorado, there's a few others that have passed unconstitutional laws banning public schools from having a Native theme. But if they carve out an exemption for a tribal support, the left is okay with it. Great. Same thing at the NCAA level. The NCAA said, oh, no, if you've got a Native American theme, you got to get rid of it unless you get the support of a tribe. And that's why you see the Utah Utes. That's why you see the Florida State Seminoles, etc. At the semi-professional and professional leagues, they don't have any such mandate, but all of these teams that have Native themes voluntarily have relationships with tribes. You take a look at the Spokane Indians minor league team with the Spokane tribe of Washington. They have a partnership where they work together to use the Native theme to educate. I talked to the president of the Indianapolis Indians during the cancel culture era, and I said, hey, take a look at what the Spokane Indians are doing with the Spokane tribe. And lo and behold, a couple years later, they have forged a partnership with the Miami tribe of Indiana. And they now the Indianapolis Indians, they have voluntarily formed a partnership. You take a look at the professional level, the Chicago Blackhawks with the Sac and Fox Nation, the Atlanta Braves with the Eastern Band Cherokee, and then the Kansas City Chiefs with a working group of tribes. That is the one thing that the left will concede. Okay, if you got that, we're good with it. Washington Redskins, get with it. The Blackhawk or the Blackfeet Nation is ready to partner with you. Senator Steve Daines has put the parties together. It's time. Let's go back to the Washington Redskins.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, that would be a really good podcast to have, is some of those family members on and just going through this and discussing what it would be like to have uh
Reclaim the name, guys. Reclaim the name.
Chief Two Guns White Calf.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be
kind of a unfortunate thing for people on the left, but this is a standard that they set up. This is a standard. You know, when the Cleveland Indians got rid of it and their Rhino owner Dolan, we actually had a Zoom call with them. We met with just the very lower level millennial types, and we're like, don't do this. This is like against 90% of what Native Americans want. Your fan base, 99%, and they still went ahead and did it. Who did they meet with in person? Who did the Dolan family that owns it, who are supposed to be Republicans? They met with the American Indian movement. This is the most radical Marxist, Native American group in the history of Native American groups. That's who they listened to. They failed to listen to the overwhelming majority of Native Americans who stand with the vast majority of patriotic Americans, that we love this country. Native Americans serve in the military in the highest numbers per capita than any other race.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That is one of the most important things that I like to bring up to people when I get called a hypocrite for my name on X, right? Where they say, "Oh, you're being a native patriot." They say, "Oh, that's ironic," or that's just pure hypocrisy. But I mean, one of the things I like to say is, my great grandfather was Chief Martin Morning Cloud Sampson. I actually had, no, I don't know where the book went, but I mean, he served in the military and he was the hereditary chief of the Swinomish tribe. And I mean, and that was 60 years ago, about that. But, and you're trying to tell me that Native Americans are not patriotic when they serve in the military at a higher per capita rate than any other race? No, there are plenty of patriotic Native Americans, because they understand that there's more to this land than a land grabber, or what the left wants, saying that they want all the land back, and that the USA is on stolen land. I mean, there's so much more to America than that, and there's so much more to Native Americans and their spirit than getting upset about having a team like the Redskins playing in the NFL, which in my personal view was a great thing, and it was a good representation of the Blackfeet tribe, where they had Chief Two Guns White Calf out there front and center, where everybody was celebrating. And I mean, the way that they hijacked that and turned it into a bad thing is terrible. So I'm really excited to be able to be a part of getting that name back and front and center into the NFL, and actually having the NFL grow a spine and accept the fact that, I mean, they didn't stand behind what is his name? Harrison Butker. The NFL ran out and condemned what he said. They said, "Oh, he doesn't actually stand for our views and this and that." And it's like, well, he's a Catholic and he's speaking to a Catholic audience. That's allowed. And it does. I mean, they should have just stayed silent on it at worst, but instead they came out and said that they were completely against it and that he doesn't represent the values of the NFL. But luckily his team is starting to grow a spine. Andy Reid on the Chiefs came out and he said that he stands behind Harrison.
So did Mike Tomlin, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will get away with what we allowed them to get away with.
Yep.
And in my mind, they're not getting away with anything anymore if we organize. And that's what the mission of the Seven Generations Alliance is, to bring everybody that is sick of cancel culture, that believes in true patriotic American values together, and stand up against this and say enough is enough. To do like Steve Dane said, he is putting a line in the sand. We are putting a line in the sand, and we're saying no more. You cannot just get behind your computer and type some things. You have to get out there and be participants. Join the Seven Generations Alliance. Be a part of what is going on. We're getting some former players with the Washington Redskins involved. We've got some politicians. We're going to get more politicians. We need to get the fan base. We need to get patriotic America behind this. We have to put an end. It is up to us. It is up to us to put an end to this scourge that is cancel culture.
Well,
Well said.
It is. It is. And the cool thing is, like what I said when I started the episode here, is that you're going to start to see us talk to a lot of people, and these subjects are going to be front and center, and you're going to see this be front and center with a lot of politicians that we have. We're going to be talking to sports stars. The eventuality that we talked about doing an event where we can have the heads of these respective organizations together in one room, and we can address these things so people can actually see it. You know, they can see the optics that we have a representation from the Italian community saying, we're tired of them trying to take Columbus Day away. You know, the Asian community, the Jewish community, the Native community, and people can see how, because the news plays games with the optics. They make you think that these small minority of people that want these names taken away and these images removed and all of these are so vast. But the reality of it is there are only very few of them, and we outnumber the hell out of them, and the media ignores us. Well, if you get the event and you get the people there and people see how many show up and how many are pissed and how vast the amount of cultures that feel the same way and share the same values, I can't ignore it anymore. This was a genius move. This is a genius move. And I can't wait to see what comes of it from here.
You know, one of the things that I've contended with people, I mean, there's many things I've contended with people online about, is signifying the importance of culture itself, right? I think was it Breitbart who said that culture is downstream from politics, or no, politics is downstream from culture, right? And what we've been experiencing over this past decade is an erasure of cultures. And front and center is the Native American community. It's the iconography. It's the representation. It's being destroyed and erased. And what happens down the road if we allow this to continue is that Native Americans will be completely forgotten from history. They're already removing them from museums. The Redskins gone. The Land O'Lakes lady on the butter is gone. And the Red Man Chew changed its name and took away the red man on it. And so many high schools have had to change their symbols and emblems and representation of Native Americans. Like this is important for our culture and for our future, to remember Native Americans and be able to see and share in the history and the culture. And if nobody sees it, then we will be forgotten. And as 1%, and I've seen some reports saying up to 2% are Native Americans. Now, I mean, especially with all the illegal immigrants flooding in, we're going to be forgotten by history and erased. So yes, this is an important front of the culture to actually stand for and fight against, because eventually, if we do nothing, we will be completely forgotten.
Keep in mind, and I'm going to say it, I don't give a damn where I'm streaming at. I'm just going to say it. There were two groups of people that were not mandated to take vaccines. Congress, Senate. Anyone want to guess the third? Immigrants.
Oh, yes.
Those were the three groups, right? And I'm speaking as someone who's, my wife is dealing with such, I don't even want to call it headaches, because it doesn't even give it justice. She's got tumors growing near her kidneys. She's deaf in her right ear, all because of a side effect of some drug that they said she took on her own because it was emergency use authorization. And then the insurance company didn't want to pay for the device that she needed in order to hear, because she did it on her own. But if she didn't do it, she would have gotten fired from her job. The replacement theory is not far-fetched. We kicked right in your neck of the woods, Tony. The people in the black community are turning their backs on the left. They're being overlooked for the immigrants are being fed, housed, given the resources. Meanwhile, the people in Chicago and those impoverished communities are being overlooked. They were thrown out of their housing projects to allow immigrants to move into the projects that they can no longer be in. It's the replacement theory thing. I have to believe is a real thing. And they want people here that won't say the things that we're saying right now, because it's much better than where they're from. They'll get bird fed and they'll be okay with it. They'll take the crumbs that fall off their master's table and they'll eat them and they'll be happy. We won't. So what do they want to do? They want to get rid of us and they want to replace us. They want to at least get rid of the voting base. And the black community better wake up, because once the Latin community outnumbers them for voting base and they're on the left, they're not going to be, they're not going to have the voice. They're not going to have the power in the political realm that they once had, because they're no longer going to be the poster child minority of choice. And a lot of them are already waking up to this. 27% now are supporting Trump. So people, the left doesn't like you. The left doesn't care about you. The left are pariah. They will stand on your back to get a little taller. And when you can no longer serve their needs, they will carelessly toss you aside for the next victim that they can use in line to keep their popularity going in their quest for power. That's who the left is. Am I wrong?
No, and that's the thing we have to realize as a people as well, is that we are not victims. Okay, we are blessed to be born in this country in this time, and we can enact real change. We have been given the opportunity to take our country back. Okay, I see a lot of posts saying that our country is doomed and that, you know, it's basically over, which I really don't like, because I believe that patriots are strong. I believe that the spirit of Americans is that craves freedom and liberties, and I mean actual freedom and actual liberties, not just the generic speak. Okay, I believe that our spirit is strong enough to overcome the obstacles we see ahead, and that the organizations that you see on the happening around the country right now, with people actually waking up and minorities starting to speak out and be heard, that they oppose this victim mentality, is a really good thing, because strength breeds strength. Courage breeds courage. When you stand up, it is more likely that others will stand as well. And so that was one of the big things that I wanted to do when I started, I guess, my social media career, you would say, is that I wanted to inspire others to stand up against tyranny and to stand up against cancel culture. And it is good to see that more and more are waking up and standing up and speaking out.
Yeah. And I just want to say a big thank you to every one of you guys in the chat. For the last couple, we have noticed what you guys are doing, man. And I just got to say, I'm grateful. You guys are lighting that chat up, and we're seeing the outpouring of love. Maurice is getting ready to cross a huge threshold and on his X. I'm climbing more every day. And what we got going on with NAGA and the 7th Generation Alliance is just going to make all of us that much stronger, guys. So listen, if you haven't already, follow us on all the platforms, every platform that we're on. Follow us on all of them, whether it be X, Rumble. Go to our locals. If you can support us, please do. The locals is only $5 a month. If you use Tribe of Patriots as the code to get in there, it's only $2 to join, and then $5 a month after that. We made it so insignificant as far as the dollar value, so that wouldn't matter to anyone. But if we get a couple of thousand of you guys to do it, it can go a long way to helping me and Maurice travel. And like the thing that we're doing right now, going down to the Turning Point USA, and hopefully getting to meet Trump and talk to Matt Gaetz and getting ready to affect change. We won't just do this podcast here and be behind cameras. We want to be out there. We want to go to DC. We want to go where these things are happening, and we want to be able to support you better. And guys, I know that a lot of you can't do what we do, and you don't have the time to do it. But if you enable us to be good stewards of your money and you support us, we will do just that. We'll take the fight to them. We'll go out and stand before those people that are doing the wrongs that we're all complaining about and call them out to their faces. Believe me, we will. Just support us, and that's exactly what we'll do.
Well said, brother. Yeah, it's the patriotsprayer.locals.com. And that's one of the ways that it we'll be able to start the show on time at times. I won't be coming in at 5:58 trying to get clean and everything. So, right now we do this because we're passionate about our country, and we're going to continue to do it regardless, but we'll be able to do more if we're financially supported, obviously. So,
and I want to say one more thing. We have a Patreon on Podbean, guys. So the patriotsprayer.podbean.com. Podbean. So we're on terrestrial podcasts everywhere. iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple iTunes, Audible, everywhere. Guys, those are the areas that really do us a lot of good as far as monetization. So if you can go on Spotify and iHeart and Amazon, if you got an Echo device, if you just say, Alexa, play the Patriots Prayer podcast, she will. Believe it or not, she will. Alexa, not right now. Alexa, pause. Alexa, stop. Chill out. All right. No, so guys, listen, we're everywhere, and we want to be even more places. So the Patreon, you can go over there, you can give, you can go to the locals and donate as well. Hell, you can donate right here in the chat in Rumble and are on the on X. And I mean, I don't say this enough because I don't want people to think we're in it for the money, because we're really not. Believe me, we're nowhere near in the black doing this. I've been doing it for 3 years out of my pocket. And now that things are getting even worse, there's just more that I want to do. And there's enough of you guys to be able to allow us to do it. I want to get Maurice's ass out from under the truck. Maurice, show him your hands. Maurice, show him your damn hands. Dude.
I cleaned him up pretty good.
Man,
Yeah.
You look like you choked the tire, right?
That's every day, man. Every single day.
We need to get this guy out from underneath these trucks and behind a microphone full time, going out around the country and calling out politicians. I want to go down here and go to Cleveland and talk to Bernie Moreno. We've been invited to the Capitol multiple times, but we can't go because we can't get all this time off work. So, I mean, you guys have no idea the dreams that we have that you could make come true just by supporting us for as little as $5 per month, or a donation of any size that you want to give. And that's the last time I'm going to say it, but you guys have no idea what it would actually mean for us to be able to do this for.
Also, you guys, you can go to nagaeducation.org if you want to learn more. I mean, it's a really informative website. They have the 7 Generations Alliance on there. They have a lot of misconceptions that are lined out. They show the evidence and the proof that we are on the right side of history, that what we believe and our patriotism is going to overcome this wokeness and this cancel culture.
Hey, shout out Lola, Texas. Shout out Lola, Texas. She just became a paid subscriber, brother. Hey, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much. And Tony, thank you very much for coming on. I'm looking forward to everything that we have ahead. And I would like to get those family members, if we can, in touch with us so we can kind of line up a podcast and advocate and get more support for bringing the Redskins name back, because that seems pretty important, and it would be a huge, it would be a huge win against cancel culture. It would be epic. So
yeah, I want the Wetzel family on here. I want to talk to the former Redskin. It'd be a great show to have him on the same podcast as John Davison. John Davison is the most anti-woke person. Jerome Davison, excuse me. The most anti-woke person I have ever heard in my life. Well, so is John Davison. John Davison.
We'll find out.
Ooh, we can have a contest, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we can't wait to see some of these things come to fruition. So, guys, just keep looking. You're going to see me and Maurice pretty soon here. We're going to take the show on the road. We're going to take our cameras and our mics, and we're going to be walking through the Turning Point USA event. And believe me, I won't be deterred. I'm going to talk to Trump. I'm going to talk to Trump. I'm going to talk to Matt Gaetz. And
Tulsi Gabbard will be there, Vivek Ramaswamy, and many others as well.
And Tulsi, I mean, listen,
She's a patriot, man.
Yeah,
she may have some dumb opinions, but she's a patriot.
Let's hope that she's changed some of her old opinions. I'm not, people change. It's what I can say to that. People change. Let's hope she's changed. She's walking around with machine guns in her ads now, and she's not bad to look at. So, I mean, I hope she has joined the team.
Kristi Noem will also be there.
Kristi Noem. So, yeah, I mean, she's got some damage control to do. So
I would give her or Tulsi a break. I might date him. So we'll see.
Yeah. She's a gorgeous woman. Let's just call it what it is. She really is. And Kristi Noem, listen, I love the things that she was calling out, as far as what she was saying about the people on the res allowing the cartel members to use them the way that they were, and how, there was a negative reaction that they had to her saying what she said by kicking her off the res. It really made no sense to me. And then we had Lunatic on here a few weeks ago telling us that they wanted to bring the Palestinians onto native reservation land since the United States didn't want them. So how do you feel about that, Tony? We got Tony here. I might as well ask.
What's the question?
So we had a woman on here who's, I'm sure she's part of what's known as the Answer Coalition. And the Answer Coalition is Native Americans that have joined in with these pro-Palestinian movement, and she's one of them. And she's advocating for the Palestinians, since the Americans don't want them on our land. She said, well, we can fly them into the reservation and we'll put them here since.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Let's deport them back to their country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reservations struggle enough with drugs, alcoholism, and poverty and crime. I mean, I have a brother who grew up on the res, and I haven't spoken to him in over a decade because he's been in and out of jail and on drugs, and I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's doing. I just know that he was in and out of drugs, and I had a kid at the time, and I was like, I can't save him. He'll have to save himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, these reservations, I mean, they're just microcosms of socialism, dependence upon government. And that's what you get, it sucks. So
when you get a bunch of people in the inner cities that have never had anything, and they lose their will to want to go get something, right? I'm from Baltimore City. I'm from like the inner city of the inner city. I literally, in my younger days, lived in the low-rise projects. I've been there. Right. So I know for a fact that the sense of hopelessness that is there, but it's a lie, because the number one thing that I noticed when I started looking on my own, the biggest difference between me now and those people then and now is information. That's it. It's just information. You can do any damn thing you set your mind to. Your color, your nationality, your sex, your whatever it is. None of that is going to stop you. If you've put your mind to something, you're going to be able to achieve it. It does not matter who you are. The lie that the left uses is that it does, and that you need them to be in power because the right hates you and we're trying to stop you from becoming whatever it is you want to be. We're the boogeyman. But what have they done? They've been in power for God knows how long. And what have they done? They've done nothing. They've made it worse. Go look at their districts. Go look at Nancy Pelosi's district. Go look at AOC's district. Go look at Maxine Waters' district. You won't even think you're in America if you go look at how destitute their districts are. They look like tent cities with syringes all over the ground and people walking around with TB and all types of absolutely disgusting.
Go look at how many Black Americans BLM helped out. The owners.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
They helped themselves out. They moved into some very big houses in some very white communities. And so, they took those millions of dollars and they invested it in themselves and their family members directly. They didn't go back into the communities they burned down or the stores that they looted or the Asian American community that they terrorized as they did it in Chicago and New York and other places. And it's just ignored.
Did you hear the breaking news that Joe Biden endorsed Donald Trump? I'm not kidding. So he did. Let me show you. Okay.
I don't think we'll be able to hear it. But go ahead.
You should. So this is a tweet from my buddy Steve. At Steve Loves Ammo. Shout out. He's a great patriot. We're gonna have him on the podcast soon. But oh yeah, Cat Turd retweeted it. How about that? But yeah, listen to what Joe Biden says.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah. Oh my God, they got to get his drug mixture right, dude.
Oh, Joe Biden says we cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah, what they call a Freudian slip, a little Freudian slip there. He's not lying. For once, he's not lying anyway. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Tony, once again, brother, I really just want to give you a heartfelt thank you from me and Maurice and the Tribe of Patriots, all those guys you see there in the chat. What you guys have done as an organization is going to deeply impact us and grow our community. And we just really hope to be able to serve you as well and make this whole relationship mutually beneficial. So thank you very much, sir. And congratulations on becoming the president of the Native American Guardians Association.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Godspeed and God bless everybody. And let's win.
There it is. Let's win. So as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. We'll see you next time on the Patriots Prayer, guys. The voice of the 7-Generation Alliance. We'll talk to you later.
My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American